So, pretty pissed off this morning. Let me get my breakfast and then we're going to have story time here. Okay, so I have been working on, as many of you know, I'm working on Hound as one of my projects. And, the developers overseas had finished up a rebuild of Hound over the last, it took them a few months, and then about 30 days ago they finished up the rebuild. And so that's all fine, but I went through and there was bugs that were found and things of that sort, which was to be expected. Some of those should have been fixed in the initial rebuild, some of them shouldn't. And I said, okay, can you guys fix a few of these critical bugs? And I said, I will be willing to pay you for your time, but can you provide me a quote? And then heard nothing. And then I emailed them back and said, hey, can you fix some of these bugs and provide me a quote? Again, and then another time. And each and every time that they've been poor communications, they've said they've fixed a couple things. They were very unclear about what stuff they were working on. And then this morning I got a surprise bill for like $680 that they said that they had finished stuff and fixed stuff. And not 100% sure they fixed all the stuff that they did. A couple of the things they did, a couple of the things, the logins are broken, all those kinds of things. And so I am very annoyed because they didn't tell me any of the stuff that they were physically working on. They just sent me a bill at the end. And so I plan to dispute it with them because if it would have given me a quote, I would have not accepted it because I don't think it's at a part where that stuff is actually worth spending money on. And so, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But that is one of the plans that I will be doing, is seeing how it is. So maybe when this video goes up, we'll have that solved. But pretty annoying. And I guess that is some of the risk you run with working with overseas teams. But yeah, not a great first thing to wake up to, but got to go get that figured out. So I had this idea. I'm trying to think about ways to reach product market fit with Hound a little bit better. We have a mixed bag of users, a handful of paying users, and I think that the people that are using it now are probably not those target users that we need because they're not super responsive and things of that sort. So I'm trying to think about brainstorm ways of getting people and understanding what people will pay and use, that what type of users those are and what type of roles they are, and things of that sort. And so right now I have two monthly plans on Hound, where it is a pro plan and a small team plan, and they're specifically kind of targeted at general marketers for one, and then small to mid-sized marketing agencies for the other. And not a ton of traction on that, but I have an idea to add a third plan that's a little bit lower tier, specifically with the intention of collecting data. I'm not expecting a lot of people to sign up for it, but so I'm adding a lower tier, cheaper plan. I'm not going to use the engineering effort to build it right now, so I'm going to add it on the site, on the marketing site, and then I'm going to add a wait list to it behind the button, so it's kind of like a smoke test, if you will, where I'll have people click. When they then click on that plan that's the one they want, they'll be able to then collect or select enter their email and then tell me what their role is, so I can start to collect the data on what kind of people are interested in that lower tier. And so hopefully that'll give me some data or some direction on what kinds of people are in that product market fit audience. So what I just got done doing was I went to this pricing page here, and then when we go to click on pricing, I now have added this new tier here that is the inspiration tier. Limited the features compared to all the other ones, and then I added a join waitlist here, and then if somebody clicks on join waitlist, they're then taken to inspiration. We're in the process of adding this to our service. Enter your email below and we'll let you know as soon as it's ready. And then they're going to enter their email, and then they'll be able to select what their role is to collect information. And then when they submit that, then I'll start to be able to see who's interested and if I should add this tier or pricing, and like what kind of people are interested in this. And so hopefully this helps me in the right direction in terms of like what kind of stuff to add or people to target even more so. So on the agenda today, we're going to work some more on trying to get some clients and put together some lead magnets, because I think that's probably going to be, I don't know, I'm trying untraditional ways of getting clients, because I think that may work in this lower job market, and approaching the type of clients that I want. So I'm going to try doing some of those things, and then we'll be going and meeting up with my family, doing a family dinner for my mom's birthday, and then we'll continue to make progress on Hound. So yeah, it's pretty much just like a heads down, focused day, and keep on moving forward. So I've just been playing around with this Osmo Pocket 3 here. It's pretty cool. You can control it with your phone here, so you can see I'm far away, and it just lets me control from my phone. So I want to go this way, come back. Pretty cool. Like, I mean, I think this will be great for when I'm traveling, and we're doing that a little bit more, so that's going to be pretty sweet. I'm excited to get this thing up and try it more and more. I feel like it'll be a fun thing and a fun way to keep, mixing up the shots and do things like that. So pretty cool. So me and Doug are going for a walk here to go grab some coffee and just get out of the house. And then we'll go back and do some more. I'm trying to do a little bit of testing out on shooting this in loud environments and things like that. And so I'm going to try to do a couple shots here too that compares the couple, because I'm curious how this will do in terms of like quality versus the iPhone. So. So, we're back from coffee, ready to get to work. I had this idea. I feel like I have all the ideas. If you didn't know, I'm an ideas guy, and I'm learning on how to be a better executor. I do get stuff done, but like my brain has all these ideas going. It's really hard for me sometimes to just pick one and run with it. That was part of the reason why I started Hound, was to prove to myself that I could do it for an extended period of time, and not just like give up. So anyways, tangent. So one of the things I'm trying to do with getting consulting clients is, I know right now the job market in general is very shitty, and I've heard that from many of my fellow UX friends and designer friends and things of that sort. And so I'm trying to think of non-traditional ways to do it. And so because I'm blending a little bit of what I'm working on with Hound and what I'm doing with Doug Studios, my thought was to go find brands that are doing really well, and so the first, whether those be in actual like direct to consumer physical product brands, whether they be SaaS companies, whether they be insurance companies, things like that, see the ones that are on this upward crazy trajectory and that are doing really well, and then go break down those brands specifically and make note of what they're doing well for their designs, what they're doing well on their marketing front, like how their copy and their communication and those kind of things are, to not only show the expertise that I have in design and showing breakdowns of why these things are working, but also to provide value to the startups and others in the space, other designers that are looking to just learn and understand more about why a company is doing well, and can they take learnings from them and then go apply them to their business.
And so the thought was that may provide a angle as a funnel, and so somebody could go in there, they could see it, they could see, hey, Wyatt created this, he broke down these, he saw all these things, he made note of these things. I know that these are all good things, but I don't know how to apply them to my business or my startup, and so maybe I'll reach out to him because I really like the way he broke down all of this stuff and educated. So that is one thing that I was looking at doing. The other idea I had for a marketing funnel to bring business to the consulting side of things would be to do like brand walkthroughs of, or maybe not brand walkthroughs, design walkthroughs of stuff either that I've worked on, or some of the documents that I've put together for potential clients, like those kinds of things. So really more of like a walkthrough of what my process looks like, why I do the things that I do, where impact is, things of that sort. So that may be something I work on in terms of marketing ideas. I feel like there's a lot of ways I could bring in customers and things of that sort, and they all take time. It's just a matter of putting one in, letting it run its course, and then see which one is effective and which one isn't. A lot of trial and error and things of that sort. So more to come. I also am trying to be patient, even though, we'll see how it goes. This is a little bit of a rant, but obviously I want to make money as soon as I can with the consulting side of business, so I don't have to keep, having months where I'm not making anything. For transparency, a lot of this is coming from, I have sources of income from rental properties and from savings, because I have been saving up for a long time, knowing that I was going to just be going for it on my own. And so every day that I don't, it's not crippling per se, but it is like, I know that, all that time and energy that I did save money to be able to do that, every day with no money is more out of that account. And we got a number of, we got years of runway right now saved up, so we're not in a pinch, but I also don't want that to become this comfortability blanket for me. So it's like, oh, if I have a number of years saved up, I'm not going to not try hard just because I have that. I think that would be a huge mistake. And that, so that's kind of where things are at. And I always want to keep transparent and honest and bring you guys along in the journey. I've done it before. I've gotten to, $26,000 a months in income. And I know I can do it again. So we're just going to keep on pushing forward, try new things. I'm going to take the things I learned from Hound over the last year and a half and apply those to the consulting side. And we're just going to keep on pushing. So keep following along, and we'll keep going. So one of the things I'm doing here is putting together like some assets for a product hunt launch as well. So that's one of the other things on the agenda. And let me show you what I'm doing here. So real quick. So with this, I have these other assets. So if you don't know, I rebranded Email Emu to Hound. And so these really old assets that I used for Email Emu, where I'm like, hey, ditch inbox, clutter, showed a picture of the product to where it was, keep track of competitors, showed some brand pages, visualizing emails, stuff like that. So I put through and did all of these things here in terms of like what the parts were. And so now I'm going to repurpose these, put in some new content, new images, so that I can get it ready for this product hunt launch, which is going to be rebranded for Hound, where they tell you to go through, update some gallery images, and then you have a number of things you have to do. And so I'm prepping some of that stuff with the new brand identity that I'm creating, or that I did create with Hound. So with more of the orange and the other logo stuff. So that's what's on the agenda. So we just finished up prepping both products for product hunt launch. I scheduled the Doug Studios consulting side for about 5 days from now. Hound is scheduled to be about a month from now.
I may keep pushing that back to try to build hype and do more around that. That's one thing I learned last time, was that on Product Hunt, if you have a coming soon or something of the sort page, and if you participate in the online communities, then it always says like coming soon. And so you can kind of get more and more traction from that by participating in the communities, more and more time for people to notice it. And then when it launches, you generally have more results because of that. So if we go to my products, you can see all these ones I've launched over time, which is DuckDuck Studios is coming soon, Email Emu originally launched, Dingo Dive was one I did a while ago, another DuckDuck Studios because it's not the coming soon one, it's the scheduled one, and then here we also have Hound. So if we click into here, you can. These are the assets that I created. So when somebody clicks in here, we'll see a featured video. It'll say, here's kind of what we have. So we go here, they'll have a featured video, what this is, find content ideas, save ones you love. So that's what I just spent a little bit of time doing. Doing that, and then if we go back to DuckDuck Studios here, then we go to this, then we can go see on this one I created expert level for startups, this, and then before and after. So a little bit shorter on this one. I think on this I might actually go create a Loom video now that we're talking about it. So yeah, go to my brother's house where we're gonna do some dinner for my mom's birthday. Didn't get around to cooking anything, but that's okay. It's at his house. We cooked last weekend, so we're gonna do that. All right, we made a pit stop. We got food. Now we're heading to my parents' house or my brother's house. What's up, Doug? Say hello to the vlog. Here. Get him, Dougie. Hello. He knew. Get him, Doug. Oh my God. Doing what is this thing called? Crab pot boil, whatever it is. That's what we're doing for crab boil for mom's birthday. Are we going based on age or? So it's about 6 p.m. on Monday. I did not film a lot today because it was a lot of heads down work time. And what we spent the day doing was we met with the designer group that I've been meeting with, and it was really good and really refreshing to meet with those other designers and entrepreneurs in there. What it told me is that I'm not as alone and crazy in this whole self-doubting thing as much as I am. It realizes that I do have some level of expertise that I've just learned over the last year and a half, even with marketing and
like lead gen and things like that, which is like really nice to hear. And I felt like I was providing value to the group, so that was pretty cool. And it was just nice to hear that other people go through the same self-doubt struggles, the same things, like what stuff had been working for them to get clients, what, things of that sort. So that was just good to have that little network. And it does make you feel less alone just to be able to talk to other people that are in the same field and things like that as you for a good hour. So, yeah, very, very successful. After that, I DM'd some old, I saw a post that was like, in this economy, the 2 best ways for you to get like clients or customers or things like that right now is actually to reach out to all the people that you've worked with in the past or clients and try to stir up some business that way, or creating organic content and having that funnel those people in. And so I spent some time this afternoon reaching out to all my old people that I've done consulting work with, asking if they have any recommendations, if they know anybody that needs help, and see if I can stir up any work that way as well. And then I'm just going to keep creating content to hopefully bring in stuff that way. And then, so that was pretty, that was good. And then I did brush up the last little bit on adding another project to the consulting site. And then, so it was overall a pretty successful day, a lot of heads down work. Didn't really leave the house today, so, not a lot to film, but, overall successful day. Don't really have much else to say, but now we were debating going to the Suns game, but we didn't realize that it started at 8:15, so it wouldn't get over to like 11:30, in bed by 12. And if I'm up at 5 in the morning, that's less optimal. So we're going to punt that till Wednesday because it's a little earlier of a start time, and do that. So, yeah.
Let's see. Today is Tuesday. We slept in a little bit, and honestly, felt wonderful because I haven't done that in a bit. My body was feeling very sore, so that was nice. And then, so today on the agenda, we're meeting with some old designer friends. And then we are working on creating the lead magnet, which we haven't gotten around to yet. And then we're going to reach out to some old clients again and keep trying to push on that to try to stir up some work. And then on the Hound front, we're going to go and update some database stuff because we need to start pushing the emails out that have been kind of backlogged. And do that. The co-founder is working on putting together, like reworking some of the database stuff because there's a lot of errors that we're running into. So that is one of the other things. All the product hunt launches are prepped and ready to go with some explainer videos and things of that sort. So hopefully that can bring us some traction. Let's see. I think that's it for now. So we'll check back in later.
So I set a timer for an hour and a half. I'm trying to get better at being very targeted on how much time I spend on stuff and not just get lost in doing useless things. So I cannot get this idea out of my head, and I keep coming back to it over and over and over again. And I know that, like, against all odds, or not odds, maybe that's not the right word, but against like most conventional like direction, people say, don't work on multiple things, get really focused on one, and I think that is very true. I feel like there needs to be I don't think it hurts though in the beginning of projects to take multiple attempts at different things, and when you have something that really sticks and starts catching on, then just everything else goes away, and focus your attention on that. So I'm trying to allow myself one day a week to tinker on another thing, because I like variety, but this is one that I just know is a pain point. Personally face it as a designer. I know others do. I've talked to designers in general around issues that they face with the same thing, and so I think I'm going to put this out as a test thing, try to get a wait list,
try to get people to sign up and pay for it. My gut tells me that this will do well. But from what I've learned last time and the times before, I'm not going to just spend the money and go build it with very little validation. I'm going to try to get a lot of validation and shop it around for a while, potentially try to find somebody to build it that wants to start this with me, and also will try to get like pre-order signups to pay. Essentially, like my thought is I'll put up a landing page and say, hey, for the first like 100 people that sign up, you can buy a lifetime pass now that will be ready when we go live, and only the first 100 people can get lifetime passes. After that, it's only going to be a monthly product. So yeah, we're going to try that and see potentially if that works. So long story short, long story long, but here's the thing that I've been working on. So when you are a designer, if you've been following around, like it's tough to, so basically the premise is it's really tough to have a consolidated place for all feedback. It's tough to show interactions and little specific design nugget feedbacks. It's like scattered across like people dropping them into spreadsheets with notes. It's put across like people editing, like putting them Loom videos and putting screenshots and editing comments in Figma and putting them in Jira and putting them in Notion and trying to link all this stuff into like this mess of a thing. And so I know how much of a pain point that is, especially when you're working across different time zones, because you don't always have the luxury when you're working with a developer as a designer to get on a call with them and walk through and do all that stuff. And like as a freelance designer, which I think would be the target audience for this, your time is even more valuable. And so you don't want to spend tons of your time to actually be on calls all the time with developers on different time zones, things like that. So the thought is a tool that streamlines this much easier for getting feedback in production. So the thought would be like you would have a plugin for Google Chrome. You would click this. You would then have this plugin run where you could either do a screenshot of a full screen selected area or a specific tab, or you could do a screen recording. And in this scenario, we would do a full screen recording. We would hit start recording. There would be some sort, you would talk through, you would whatever it may be, and then you hit stop recording. Your then video would immediately appear here where you could say where the project it was, what the title of the project is, the little preview of the video, description, priority of it, and then you would hit, and fill in your details. And then we would go down and hit submit, and then your screen recording is automatically been added to a spreadsheet document that automatically adds all that stuff in. We could click into projects, and then we go back into the tool here. We would have all these different projects you've created, and under a project you would have all the issues or pieces of feedback, whether that be a screenshot, a screen recording, whatever that is, and it would show the description, it would show the status, the priority, the date that it was filmed or created, and then you would click in here and you would have the list of everything. You would have like the title. You could scroll through all of the videos or screenshots here on the left that are contained within that project. You get to play here, and then you would also be able to see and edit any of the things here, attach relevant files, etc. Move it to a different project, delete it, or mark as complete. So and then share it with others. So that's the thought. I'm really excited about this idea, but there's 1,000 ideas and it's all about execution, but I might just try to test this theory because it's a personal pain point. I know other designers face it. I've talked with many of them, so we'll see.
And they know a lot of people, right? So they know a ton of people that they were connected to. So, and again, they built the hype in there, in that space where it's like, people want to join, people want to access it. So yeah, right now that's all they've been up to, in a sense, and I think their social is.
So I met with some old coworkers a little bit online today. I spent the last few hours working on putting together a brand breakdown of Loom, or starting to work on it as a lead magnet. And it's interesting because I was not like I've been trying to get screenshots of all the stuff, and it's so much of a bitch to get a high quality screenshot that isn't like super pixelated. So I had to do this, which is slightly ridiculous, but it seems to be working. 4K monitor, and I turned it vertically so that I could specifically go in and get really long captures of a web page type of thing. So that's how I've been able to get them when they're, rather than having to do really small ones. And so what I've really been doing is taking this, and I'm going in and I'm creating and screenshotting and like essentially crafting, and I'm going to start doing breakdowns of all the different pages that are in Loom's go-to-market strategy, and I'll annotate them and do that, and then I'm going to break it out into like other sections, and then use that as a lead magnet. So for not only marketing content, but to get people in to show like brand analysis for like design services. So it's kind of like an audit, kind of a marketing push as well. So that's the thought. I'm going to be targeted on the hook that I bring with that, but more to come. It's going to take a little while to get this done, so it's not going to go out immediately, but this is one idea that I have to get clients. And I guess it would also be to get people on Hound, so maybe it's two of the similar type, but we'll see.
Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, about 5:30. Wow, 6. I was right for a little bit then. So I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna come back, start doing some work. I'm gonna move my front furniture because they have painters coming to finish up some other areas of the house or repaint the outside. And then I'm gonna keep working on the lead magnet piece. And then just to keep Hound moving forward, even when there's lulls, I am gonna, get back in that habit of just having dedicated, 3 hours minimum of doing stuff to keep moving it forward, and keep on going on that. So, Also, the co-founder's been reworking on the brand, or reworking on the rebuild. So. It feels like a little bit of lull and Hound, but you just got to keep pushing forward on those times. I know there's ups and downs, and you have months where you're enjoying it, months where you're not. Having fun with it, but there is a lull, so I try to get that marketing engine going. Probably going to look into testing out some Google Ads, see how that works. All right, we're back from the gym. Me and Dana are going to a coffee shop for a few hours. And then we will come back here. Going to work more on. Lost my train of thought.
Screenshots.
Work on putting
products.
that content brand breakdown for a lead magnet, and then. Just got back from a coffee shop for a few hours, sent out an email where I'm trying to get some product market fit for Hound. So I sent out a survey to try to have them answer a few questions. I said if they answer it, they'll be entered into a giveaway to win $100. A little bit steep, but I haven't been able to get feedback in other ways prior, so we're going to see if this approach works, because it'd be really nice to at least start understanding more about who's using it, why they're not upgrading, what things they would pay for, but we'll see. So now we're going to keep on doing the brand breakdown and keep on keeping on. So just spent a couple hours screenshotting and
trying to finish up doing the rest of the walkthrough of Loom, which is the product that I'm going to be walking through to try to use it as a lead magnet. And then I think me and Dana are going to probably film a podcast a day early and do that. So more to come. I'll try to film some of that stuff and put in some clips here.
There's a couple times when we were in London, a coffee shop down the street, and like more productive work and stuff on my laptop, and that was really cool.
So like if you're doing your own thing, like you want to work on, like sure there's times where you want to not do it at all, but I think like part of that is like a vacation, like maybe sometimes it doesn't always have to be a true vacation. It just has to be like you just want to go somewhere new to experience and get out of the same scenery, and it's like a little mini vacation, but you still have stuff to get done. Decided to make our way to the Phoenix Suns game.
Was there have a crosshair in here? Why is it
Tyus Jones returns to the Suns lineup, replacing Bradley Beal.
And I can shake them like this. Come on. Yeah, that looks good. On the side, let's go. Wheel side to side, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's get the ball going. Yeah.
So we're almost done with the lead magnet. I just got to do some annotations, but I'm super excited to get this thing up. It's been a lot of fun, actually, as much as it's been kind of a tedious process. It reminds me of like what I enjoy, which is like product design. I do like it, and I realize I'm good at it, and so that helps me feel like I'm providing value to people. So yeah, it's cool to go through and look, and then it gives me ideas for other stuff, like as I go in and break down another brand's like virality loop and things of that sort. It also helps me to think of ideas for my own and how do I make my product more of a viral loop. So it's been good. So I hope that this asset is valued to everybody. And yeah, so just to give you a little preview of what this thing looks like, I'm not done with it, but if we go here, I have gone and created a spreadsheet, or not a spreadsheet, a Figma doc where I'm breaking down like key marketing pages, use cases, resources, some of the other pages, and then under each one of these key marketing pages, there is like the Loom homepage, and we're walking through this, and we're going to annotate like what makes these things effective. So it's going to be a little bit before that. I also broke down this, which is like cool because I don't think a lot of people realize some of this stuff, but like viral product loops of like what Loom does to actually make their product viral. So they have this thing where they basically record, they have a recording for the video, somebody records a video, somebody then shares that video, then an external user that is not part of Loom then can view that video, and they create brand awareness through that, and then that brand awareness then leads to additional customer adoption, which then starts that cycle over, and each one of these new shares, comes to a new set of customers because then they share that with their audience, which otherwise wouldn't see it. So, I think it's a good tip for anybody that's creating a digital product is find a way to make, if possible, your product have a virality loop to it, which makes me think like with Hound, like a good example of one that I could do for Hound would be to create watermarks. So when somebody downloads a specific email, it says found with Hound. And so that is like a little mini virality. It's not going to lead you probably to sign up, but they'll be like, oh, that is found on Hound. And so I'll then, as they use and share those assets across, that could be a thing that was interesting. So yeah, just kind of interesting to share. So we got roped in to go into a rodeo. Get it?
Good time. Oh, we're having a good time. 'Cause I've been working on waking up.
So the wifey Kaylee left for the weekend with her friend to Sedona for them to go hiking, and they took Doug. So it's an empty house, strangely quiet. But I'm just gonna use the weekend to focus on some stuff. I'm trying to finally get this like lead magnet done. Should be able to get it done today. But yeah, otherwise I can't get that other idea out of my head, so I'm gonna toy with it. Went to a Brooks and Dunn concert yesterday. I was so tired the whole time that I was falling asleep in my seat, but it was a good concert. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll go to a Suns game tomorrow with a buddy for his birthday. I'm going to see if he wants to go, and if not, we'll just probably kick it and work the whole weekend and do that. Edit some YouTube video and just keep on pushing. I mean, I'm excited that seems like I have some movement on contracts and things like that. And I'm remembering not just to fill my time for the sake of filling my time, but doing the meaningful things that have impact. And then I got invited on a podcast, which will be good because I'm excited. So yeah, more to come.